So
At the
good
time,
morning.
I thought maybe it was going to be different. I wasn't sure.
Just trying to decide why she married me. It's a Todd and Erin Morning stream on GephartDaily.com. How are you? Good morning. Yikes, it's early.
Are you kidding? This is an epic morning.
It's Friday.
I'm like genuinely excited about today because we have everything.
We have, what do we?
Well, no, there is a guy who walked 500 miles, like the Proclaimers song, to propose to his girlfriend at BYU. And we've got them on the phone. We're going to be talking to them today. They've been interviewed by literally news outlets all over the world. And so I'm excited to talk to them. We have a Tell Me Something Good.
Wait, back to the thing. I would sing, what's the name of the song?
The Proclaimers. I would walk 500
miles. I would
miles.
sing that for you, except for it's copywritten and I sound like crap when I sing.
That's not true. You have a very mellow baritone.
Following the law and caring for you.
You have a very mellow baritone. It's very nice.
Quieter the better.
All right. Other than that, we've also got a couple of really cool things that Tell Me Something Good where the bikers are actually the good guys. Todd tells you about a studio art program that's incredibly inspiring. And we have free and fun along the Wasatch Front because this is the epic festival weekend. All things cool are happening.
All right, you want to hear something?
Yes, of course.
Alarming 4th of July food facts.
All right, first of all, I think we have to admire the Morning Mountain Cam.
All right.
Robert J. DeBryan Associates. If something terrible happens this weekend, that would be the first person you call. Just so you know.
This is a great start for the 4th of July weekend.
I know, it's inspiring. It's not going to be as hideously hot as we expected, so I'm happy about that.
It's going to be very nice.
All right, now tell me about the terrifying food stats.
Okay, first of all, I don't like this kind of stuff, but I'm going to do it anyway because some of you might. I'm going to tell you all the different foods and how much people are going to eat of it.
The tonnage always creeps me out. It really does. Go for it.
All right, 4th of July. Let's see, 74 million people are planning a barbecue. 150 million hot dogs will be served, according to the National Hot Dog and Sausage Council.
Where do you work? I work for the Sausage Council.
Who's the top weenie? Yeah. Now, this is my favorite part. This is when they lay food end to end and see
Always
how
cool.
far it stretches.
Yeah, true.
All right, so Los Angeles. Okay, so 74 million Americans plan to do this. 150 million hot dogs. This would stretch from Washington, D.C. to Los Angeles more than 5 times if laid end to end.
5 times.
700 million pounds of chicken and 190 million pounds of red meat. Topped with a billion dollars worth of condiments.
Don't forget the condiments.
And accompanied by 1.1 soft drinks. That's billion, of course.
318 million in chips, 83 million in watermelon, and 36 million in corn on the cob.
So watermelon, corn on the cob are the only thing healthy for you here.
Oh, that's not true. Everything is healthy. It just depends on how you're making it. But it's funny, they were talking about that because they were saying here in Utah, like we're the foodies when it comes to 4th of July. It's like epic. They say that all of our festivals are more focused, centered like around food than anywhere else. Like they've got the big food truck celebrations that are going to be going on for Murray's Fun Day celebrations and then Salt Lake City's fireworks show.
Right.
And it was kind of cute though because they were talking to the Food Truck League and Taylor, I guess, is the general manager.
Wait. It's like Marvel, the Food Truck League.
It's the Food Truck League.
No, this goes along.
They don't wear
with
body stockings though. That's very hot over a burner.
Hot dog and sausage council people.
But no, it's kind of cute because he kind of got like all inspired. He goes, I think that our food trucks encapsulate the American dream. I'm truly inspired by how the trucks work together as we are able to build these businesses and celebrate in our community. I just thought it was sort of sweet.
And meanwhile, the community's trying to screw them. We have a friend who has a food truck, and you need a separate permit for every city.
That is ridiculous.
And actually, there was something on the Hill to make that all working, so your truck in Provo would be licensed to be up in Salt Lake City and so forth.
I hope so, because there's a couple of trucks down in Provo that I've been waiting for that haven't shown up, like the cheesecake truck. Yeah, Salt Lake City doesn't have one of those yet. So maybe we could even this out so I have access to the cheesecake truck.
Do you think this is strictly an American thing?
Wild overeating?
Right. Oh, by the way, the movie Chef is about food truck.
It is adorable.
And it is an incredible movie. It's an incredible movie.
So if you have time over the weekend, it's already on Netflix. I know that. It's worth
great.
watching.
It's a great
wonderful.
show.
John Favreau.
Yeah.
I think so, just because we're like the ones that always have the how much food can you cram in your mouth contests.
Right.
And we're the ones that do. I'm sure there's other places in the world, but we're all big on it's like, how much can you fit in your mouth?
Well, it's interesting. There's an Irishman Irishman, and he put out, wrote a piece about 17 things that he really noticed about America. He's been here several times and spent a lengthy amount of time. and things that he's noticed about Americans
That's unique to us?
and our society.
Okay.
And I thought it'd be interesting to get an outside perspective because sometimes you need that. You need a third eye, someone to look in and see exactly how are we coming off.
All right, tell us what our Irish Cyclops friend thought.
What was that?
The third eye,
Oh, third eye.
the Cyclopean eye.
I get it. Okay, so let's see. Number one. Okay, Americans are way too sensitive
In what way?
in their speech. Everyone's worried about political correctness. This doesn't not mean that you can call people names or racist terms. That's not what political correctness.
I've never thought we were that sensitive, to be completely honest, but hit me, go on.
The reason he says this is because he had to bite his tongue so many times, like all the time, because he couldn't say what he was thinking, and hence he doesn't think that Americans communicate squarely as far as not being offended, because I'm not saying it to offend you, but I'm just going to say it, and then you can answer it. And he says you don't know what the person's trying to say; it's all wishy-washy.
Huh.
So that's for an Irishman.
Interesting.
And there's way too much emphasis to avoid the hard truth, dancing around the issue. Okay? Americans seem very lonely.
Oh, wow.
They seem very lonely to him. And he thinks this is why, because people don't communicate. Number two, everything is awesome.
I'm the worst at using the word awesome for everything.
Let's all learn a
Noun,
new
adjective, verb. Yeah, that would be me.
It used to mean that which inspires awe. Awesome.
Awesome.
Awesomeness. Awesome-tastic. He said in the rest of your language is filled up with ums and you knows.
Fine.
Smiles mean nothing.
I'm trying not to get defensive, but I kind of am a little bit. Go on.
Smiles mean nothing.
There's no sincerity to a smile?
They're constantly, Americans are constantly smiling. And they talk about...
Is that a bad thing?
Well, no, but it doesn't mean anything. It's like, you're walking down the street, you're reading a phone bill, and you're smiling. He says it doesn't mean anything. You do it too much. Save it up.
That seems unreasonable. I think people smiling is a nice thing. I'm never going to make anybody smile, but I think it's a nice thing to see.
Have a resting, smiling face. Ready at any moment. Do one of those.
I have a resting, doleful face. Maybe that's why I try to smile.
An American goes abroad and they have one of the biggest complaints is the fact that no one smiles on Prague trams. The waitress was so rude to me. She didn't even smile. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, but smiling is a communication form. It's very important. It's one of the things that communicates that I'm paying attention to, that you seem like a nice person, like I'm here to accept you.
Tipping.
Oh, this is the endless argument with Europeans.
Australia doesn't tip. I
No.
met one guy at a bar in an airport, and I got something, and I slipped the guy a couple bucks, and the guy just looked at me like, I just don't get it. I just don't, because that's supposedly part of the deal.
Yeah.
But in Australia, the servers are paid more.
Yeah, which makes a huge difference. Same
Right.
thing in Europe.
Well, in America, the vast amount of your money is made from tips, not your salary.
So he was complaining that people might have been overly solicitous to him, like, is everything okay?
Yeah.
Because they're trying to make sure that he's aware that they want to give good service. Okay.
Bugging him like 3 times a meal, and his mouth's always full, and he finally just caught him coming, and he just give him a thumbs up, and make him go away.
I think that's unreasonable, but okay, go on.
False pricing, not including tax. Just not used to it. Just not used to it.
That would be nice to have it all up front.
Cheesy in-your-face marketing. He sat down, he wanted to watch a series, his favorite show in America, and he couldn't. He had to turn it off because everyone's just like, oh, there, it's awesome, and crazy. Awesome! With a capital A, followed by a some. We're back in Ireland. Everything's a little more you're an intelligent person, right? You're an intelligent person. We have couches for a very nice price, including tax. It's awesome. Cheesy in-your-face marketing. That was that one. Wasteful consumerism. It really bugged him that people stood outside for 2 days in an Apple store to get the newest phone on Fifth Ave. They call it Apple fanboyism. And people just making stuff like that the most important thing in their lives.
Well, it's not the most important thing, but I can see where he would consider that a little more bizarre, but...
This is hilarious. I'm going to save that one for last.
Uh-oh.
Because it's that good. Corporations win all the time. Small businesses don't.
No, that's a given.
The country, this is cool. The country was designed for cars, not humans. And think about it. In Europe, there's huge importance put on walkways and crosswalks and paths and bicycle paths and
Okay,
and
but
other
you have
ways
to remember, you can fit the entirety of Europe in like Texas. I mean, we have gigantic, broad, open spaces. There is many different ways we have to drive to get everywhere. You can't walk everywhere. I mean, Europe, it's true. You can like walk from England to France. I mean, if you go underwater with the other tunnel. But I mean, that's what I mean, though. It's all squished together. So it's nice to say, oh yeah, we have all these walkable areas. But it's like, yeah, and you fit in Texas. The rest of us have to take I-15.
Here's another one. I think Americans always think their country is bigger than others. Always in a hurry. Am I taking too long? They're always in a hurry. I'm not in a hurry here. He said it's just crazy. They're fast food, even with a sit-down meal. He said the food is there 10 minutes, 15 minutes after you order it. And
I like that.
well, in some places, eating standing up, like in Spain, you'd be slapped. People actually come up and break your legs, so you would have to sit and have a meal. There's no standing and eating. It's very much like German cars. German cars fought and fought and fought not to have cup holders because you were there to drive. You weren't there to drink.
The German are so prosaic, I could totally see that happening.
As a matter of fact, they were so pissed about it, they actually put the cup holder right in front of the sensor for the air conditioning.
That did not happen.
So the heat and the sensor. Yeah, so slow down. Thinking America's best.
I don't think any of us think that anymore.
Thinking America's best. Oh, we got the best this. We're number one in this. Oh, yeah. It was 200 years ago that the country happened, and Europe's been around for. And we're not the best. We have great things, and
I think we have magnificent. I don't know if it's a question of what's the best, though. I think if you check it out of that context and you say, we have amazing things because we've been fortunate enough to have.
Things.
We've been fortunate enough to have people come from all over the world, so we get this beautiful combined consciousness of cultures from everywhere else.
That's another one of his things was heritage, and he goes, "You're not Americans. You're 10% this. You're 10% that. You're a buffet line of
you know what?
nationalities."
I don't like him.
I do.
I think he's condescending, and I don't like him at all. You think you're so special? I'm from older places, and I walk more and sit down when I eat. Okay.
Oh, here's another one.
I'm sorry, I feel defensive now.
Thinks Americans categorize people from other countries, especially Ireland. No, that's not it. Here it is. You ready? I love this. America stereotypes. They stereotype other countries. They do. Lucky Americans, they go abroad and tend to be much more clever, and they meet people in their travels, and they expand their brains, and they get to meet people from around the world. Here in the States, about 300 million of you have had this exact conversation with him since he started coming to America. Hi, I'm Benny. Awesome, I'm X. Where are you from? Ireland. Wow, you guys sure know how to drink. Actually, I don't drink. Well, you're not really Irish then, are you?
Well, we both come from a Scottish-Irish background, and I don't think anyone has ever told me that I was a lush based on that. I don't know.
Stereotyping. I like him.
I don't. I think
I do.
I think he's judgmental and condescending.
No, but he said it in a nice way. You're just taking. I read it in a nice way. This is the way you read texts.
He's criticizing us through the whole article. I don't know if there's a nice way to say that.
Did you feel criticized?
I don't mind constructive criticism. You and I are with this. Maybe you can give me your opinion on Facebook, but I'm just saying I felt like he was being very condescending, like, oh, I'm from so much of a more superior culture. And
I don't think he said that. He never referred to his homeland.
I do recognize that there's challenges, that we have challenges here. And I do see that. I mean, the thing that we're always in a hurry, the thing that we probably are too consumer driven. I do see those things, but the way he's making it sound is like, well, you're not even really Americans because there's so many of you.
Wait, that's what he just said about being Irish. You're not really Irish because you don't drink enough.
No, but that's what he was saying is that we're not truly Americans because we're a mixture of all these other things. That's what makes us American. That's what makes our strength. is that we are this amazing combined consciousness of the entire global community. I thought that's what was our most beautiful thing. And it's the 4th of July. I get to say that.
Oh, played that card on me, didn't you?
I get it. Expatriate. What do you know?
All right, what's coming up news? We got news
I'm
coming
feeling
up.
very defensive now. I
Don't,
feel like
it's
I wanna
okay.
continue.
He still likes it here.
All right, Gephardt Daily Newsroom is holding our beautiful Daisy, who is also a British expatriate. She has being sponsored right now by Robert J. DeBry. You have offices in St. George, Sandy, and Salt Lake City at robertdebry.com. Executive Transportation. I just had a nice limo ride from March just the other day. You can book him at executiveutah.com.
Where was I?
No, it's not important, honey. All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. You can go to allutahplumbing.com for 24 hours service. Daisy, what's going on this morning?
Hello everyone, here's what's making headlines on GephartDaily.com. A Heber City couple has been hospitalized after being attacked by a bison in Yellowstone National Park. The incident happened Wednesday morning at Mud Volcano just north of Lake Village. Theodore Schrader, 74, and Patsy Holmes, 72, were taking photographs on a boardwalk when the bison knocked them to the ground. Holmes was taken by life flight to Idaho Falls but is expected to be okay. Her partner was not seriously injured. A hiker from Alabama was found dead Wednesday after becoming disoriented in a Kane County slot canyon. The Kane County Sheriff's Office said 62-year-old Lane Friedman was hiking with his family when he was overcome by heat. His wife was able to summon help, but not before Friedman passed away. His body was being taken to the Utah State Medical Examiner's Office to determine the cause of death. Firefighters continue to battle the Brian Head Fire in southern Utah. The fire has now grown to more than 60,000 acres and remains the nation's largest wildfire. More than 1,600 personnel are working to bring the blaze under control, which has been burning now for close to 2 weeks. And now a quick look at weather along the Wasatch Front. Expect temperatures in the upper 80s to mid-90s over the next few days under mostly sunny skies. And a reminder, if you're headed into the wilderness, be sure to take plenty of water, carry sunscreen, and be sure and wear clean underwear should, heaven forbid, you be involved in an accident. For more local news and weather, go to GephartDaily.com. Todd and Erin, back to you.
Thank you very much, Daisy. Okay, speaking of All Utah Plumbing.
Yes, All
You were
Utah
out with John
Plumbing.
the other day.
Yeah, we were hanging out. Actually, John showed me something that I hadn't seen before because he does heating, air, water, everything, sprinklers and stuff. But I hadn't seen any of his remodels. And so what he did is he went to this wonderful woman's house named Tracy, and her Robbie, her son, has some challenges. He's challenges, like we have challenges with our kids. With autism and such, and so he was very uncomfortable because the shower's too small. You know, he's crammed in this thing, and he felt very claustrophobic.
Sensory issues.
And he did not like them. And so John went over and took out the tub and this really small thing, expanded it, put in this beautiful glass door sliding thing so it felt open. He put Robbie in there, and just to look around. Robbie's been very comfortable with it, and ever since Robbie's been doing a great job and taking his own showers and being a grown-up kid and being a rock star. So that's what it's about. He is a rock star, by the way. So he knows how to go, listen to the people, come up with an imaginative
Solution to the problem,
and he
yeah.
does it, and it was gorgeous. And you can go and see that right on the.
Gephardt Daily, if you go to the Todd and Erin page, you can see us right there. And it is a beautiful
It
remodel.
is
You're right.
allutahplumbing.com.
Now, you get triple bonus points because you're the one that took Zachy to this. But there was an art therapy program that's absolutely astounding. You came home just in love with the woman who runs the program, Kim.
I did. Everyone does because Jill.
Jill.
Because, well, first of all, let me show you this. Because I had no idea this problem was so far-reaching.
1 out of every 26 people in the United States will at some point in their life have epilepsy.
The numbers are staggering.
33 1/3% who are autistic have epilepsy.
Epilepsy is a serious issue that afflicts children and adults. There are medicines that help, but
I wanted to do something that was therapeutic, but I felt like words were limiting for some people.
through a program called Studio E,
Perfect, Zach. Awesome.
children and adults with epilepsy are given the opportunity to take part in a new medium of therapy, art.
The first day was a free-for-all. Like, I just put out stuff and we just see what happens, and then I learn where we're going to go next. And so it's really fun to see what excites them.
Jill Johnson is an art therapist. She channeled the inner artist within this group of kids, some with epilepsy, and others, like my son Zach, who suffers from autism and seizures.
Some kids, it's behavior. We need to get them calm. We need to get them okay where they are. And other kids, we need to build up their self-esteem.
To learn a whole new way of communicating.
Look, City, and then you can dip it like that. Oh my gosh.
And dealing with the outside world.
So many of them would walk in and they'd look everywhere else but at the person talking to them.
A world that can be intimidating and confusing for our Zach.
When I first met Zach, he couldn't even come in the room with us. He had to leave the first day. With Zach, what you can see is behavior. As you see behaviors change. So kids that can't sit still are all of a sudden sitting still. Kids that can't be touched can suddenly be touched.
But it's not just the kids who benefit.
It's really therapeutic for the parents to see that there's other kids dealing with so many things.
People can connect with somebody who actually understands what it's like to be in their position and some of the things that they've had to deal with, some of them for their entire lives.
Lives that are now intertwined through the language of art.
This is an access point for people to understand how to relate with others. We don't know what to do with if you hear a sound suddenly or if there's a body movement, and it just gives us another way to communicate with children and adults with different disabilities and abilities. It's really cool to see what happens when somebody that can't control their body all of a sudden is steady and just looks at you and smiles, and that's better than any words I could ever get.
So
That's very cool to me.
isn't that cool? And
It's,
Zachy
it's
loved
fun
it.
to be able to see the experience you guys had too.
Oh, it's so fun because a lot of siblings came, supporting their kids and stuff,
Oh.
and they did the adults and they did.
I said, no, we could have sent Zoe.
I know it was so much fun. I think actually Zach was glad she wasn't there to get away from her for a change. It's just.
That's probably
But
absolutely true.
What a great thing. If you want to get more information, epilepsy.com/Utah. And they've got a bunch of different programs and just even groups where they meet with teens meet that they all
Yeah,
share
support
this.
groups and have great experiences, and there's great fundraisers, a lot of really good things.
really fun.
And it's surprising how common that medical condition is now that we know more about it.
Those
and
numbers
how
were
many,
scary.
How many more children and how many more adults are impacted. So it is cool.
And then 33% of kids with autism have seizure disorder.
Both
like
of our
our
boys.
Zach, yeah. Okay, so
Time for the big thank you.
okay, here's yet again a really good meal that we're not going to have.
Yeah, I know. But somebody's get to eat it, and that's nice. I was talking to March from Executive Utah because he is the one, Executive Transportation, who takes you out in his limo, takes you down to Christopher's Prime Steakhouse. You have an amazing meal with 3 of your favorite people. You get to laugh and talk and have a good time. You don't worry about parking or anything else because Marsh is also going to take you back home.
I want that steak.
And it's ridiculously simple to enter. All you have to do is go to one of our Facebook pages. That would be Gephardt Daily, Gephardt Approved, or Todd and
We have
Erin.
very pretty listeners and
I
viewers.
know, and the food is delicious. And of course, we do have a winner today, and that would be Mary Ann G. Congratulations, Mary Ann G. Go pick out your 3 favorite people because you're going to be taking them down to Christopher's Prime Steakhouse for an amazing dinner with limo service from executiveutah.com. So, I don't know. I'm just very, very jealous.
What are we going to be doing for 4th of July, us, you and me?
We've been talking about camping, right?
We have the show. We have the
Yeah.
show, which is going to be a little different.
A little laissez-faire, right? From what you had told me.
Daisy would call it a little, a bit slapdash. I think it's just going to be slap. I don't think we're going to have enough energy for dash. So, what we're staying in town. Family, we're going to get together with the gang. Mm-hmm. Okay.
The other treacherous colonials, as Daisy would call us on
Right.
the 4th of July.
Right. I wonder if she's bitter.
I don't think Daisy's...
Because we were colony and then we separated and then now we're back together. It's like
I think she's too adorable.
it's like a love story.
It's more like a tolerance issue for her, I think.
really.
But yeah.
Probably so.
Yeah, probably pretty much. I think that's
Let's
a
do it
given.
at your sister's house. I want to do it at your sister's house because has the backyard chicken farm and it'll keep our daughter busy for hours.
It is really, really cool.
It
and all
is.
the special needs dogs and all of the foster cats up in the bathrooms upstairs.
She works at the Humane Society.
My sister is an angel.
She'll save everything with 4 legs.
She is so much nicer than we are.
Which really,
It's really, really true.
we're gonna
actually.
hang around see if it rubs off.
Yeah, put it up on Facebook. What are you guys doing this weekend for the 4th of July? Give everybody some ideas. If
Yeah.
you're on Facebook with us this morning, we would love to have some information and some ideas for that.
Okay.
Okay, so now that we've done the big thank you, we have our winner, Mary Ann G. We've talked about the 4th of July. When we come up next, we're going to tell you about a situation where the bikers are the good guys. I think you're going to love it.
It's coming up.
Todd and Erin's Morning Stream, brought to you by Black Diamond Experts. Electric, plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. You'll be glad you called an expert. The law offices of Robert J. DeBry and Associates, with offices in Salt Lake City, Sandy City, and St. George. Check them out at robertdebry.com. The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is actually available anytime at GephardtDaily.com. Just click on the Todd and Erin page.
I always wonder if people look at that bit that we're laying in bed and wonder and don't know that we're married and just that we have some hot thing going on.
Most people wouldn't usually flaunt that in the beginning promo of the show, but no, it is very funny though. Todd and I, we met on the air at Kiss 97, and we've been married over 20 years now. But it was funny.
It's been a lovely, blissful time.
But in any case, we did have one picture they did of us as a radio couple headshot, and they're usually like, sort of cheesy, like that.
Or this.
So we did one where I was hugging him and I was biting his ear and he was yelping like a stuck dog. And it was kind of cute because it was different.
Right.
And so they did this big billboard out of it. And this lady came up to me at Trolley Square once and she goes, I just wondered something. I said, sure. And she goes, I just feel that your behavior with Todd is a little inappropriate. And I went, how so? She went, well, like on the billboard when you're biting his ear, that's very
personal.
Isn't his wife upset about that? And I went, oh, she's good.
Yeah.
I maul him all the time. She's fine with it. And she walked away like even more troubled than when she had come up. But it was.
We've always had fun, kiddos. When suddenly realized that employees had to be lectured on different things in the office, like HR,
sexual harassment.
And every single time Erin and I go there, we make out. Watching the film.
Our boss is like, cut it out,
Stop
idiots.
People
All
will
right.
turn their backs because it's not pretty.
No, we're not saying it was attractive,
No.
but you had to try. All right, tell me something good. This is a wonderful one. You're going to like
Tell me
this.
something. Now here it says, tell me something good, escort.
It wouldn't be like the way you think.
Okay.
Well, here, it always starts kind of tough. And in this particular case, it was an awesome little dude, Xander Corbly.
Mm-hmm.
And he's 10, and he's been teased basically his entire life.
Oh.
He's been tormented. He's been bullied. His mom has gone in. She tried being a room mom. She tried being involved in it. She tried protesting. She took him to a counselor. She protested to the higher education portion of it. And this poor kid has been treated like crap. And it was at the point where she didn't know what she was going to do.
Right.
He was in incredible depression. He's 10 years old, and everyone's mean to him. And so she was literally at the end of her rope, and then she saw something about Bikers Against Child Abuse. And so she called them and she said, look, I know this is different than what you do.
Right.
Because traditionally Bikers Against Child Abuse is where they offer court support and different things for children who might be testifying in child abuse cases, or they go through those procedures with them.
Right.
But she said, my kid is, they're killing him. He comes home broken every day. And she said, is there anything that you can do? And they went, yes, there is.
What?
So starting the very next day, they came by and they met Xander and they talked to her for a while and they gave him his own jacket that had I don't know which club they were, but they had his little patch on the back. And they said, we're going to be coming to school with you today. So he rode on one of the bikes and the entire motorcycle club came out, like their wives came out, some of their kids.
Check it out.
He got the good scary helmet. So he walked into school and all of the bikers are walking by and they're looking at the kids going, that one. Is it that one? Is it that one? And Xander's like, I'm above that now. I don't even have to. And so walks it, and the kids are just like speechless. And the biker's like, how you doing?
Yeah.
In that way that you're like, want to wet yourself. And and then they were there that afternoon to pick him up from school. And then the next morning they were waiting outside of his house that afternoon. And every single day for the rest of the school year, for 6 months.
Someone went with him.
These guys were there, at least a few of them, every single day, to and from. And along that way, they started making friends, and they'd give some of the other kids his age, peers, maybe a ride on the bike, or they'd talk to them. And they started helping him develop like his own little community of people.
Nice.
Because
The kids.
A fear. I'm fine with that. That's what it took.
It works.
But the kids saw that he was surrounded by this cool group, and it finally drew them in to the point where they wanted to know more. And so not only did they give him protection, they gave him a community.
A way to communicate.
I thought it was beautiful.
Very cool.
And that's Bikers Against Child Abuse. It's an amazing group.
Now, I'm a little mad that you got to do this interview.
Oh, they were so smart. You would be shocked.
I get locked in the bathroom, and suddenly she does an interview. Now, give us the basic setup on this.
Okay. Everyone's heard the song from the Proclaimers. It's I Would Walk 500 Miles.
Which,
it's
once
from
again,
the 80s.
I would love to sing it, except it's copywritten, and I sound like crap when I sing.
Please don't. I would prefer you didn't. Michael Baker
I would.
had a crush on this girl since he first met her when they were teenagers, and they were they were summering down at Navajo Lake with their families. But he was 16, she was 13, so, you know, he couldn't have anything to do with her.
Right,
And she just thought he was adorable, and,
Right.
and Tracy just loved him. And so they kind of followed each other throughout their adolescence. And then Tracy went on a mission to Paris. Nice one, Tracy. And when she came back, she and Michael started dating. And sort of started falling in love and doing all those normal things you do. And he went, I'm going to propose, but it's got to be cool. So he was kicking her ideas around with his family. And he finally went, you know what I'm going to do? I just realized that from my doorstep in Colorado Springs to her house in Provo, it's about 500 miles. So he documented his journey, 500 miles, to go propose to the woman who is the love of his life. Take a look.
It's kind of coincidental, I guess, that the distance from my house to hers is just over 500 miles. My father and I took out our drone that we have in our GoPro camera, and we decided to film some different shots. And Colorado has some really beautiful scenery. So we went to a lot of areas, and we traveled. Well, it ended up being about 150 miles that day to different areas to get different shots, to create that illusion that we wanted of actually walking, through the mountains and through the plains and such to get from here to there. And then obviously we had to go out to Thanksgiving Point, where I proposed, and shoot those last couple scenes in the video to make it, to really finish off the illusion there.
Tracy Lena Wesson, will you marry me?
I knew absolutely nothing about it. And I was caught completely off guard because I was up in Provo doing a CNA course, and Michael was in Colorado at the time. And I had Skyped him, or actually normally we Skype every night, but this night he had just called me on the phone because he was working on a video commercial for his dad's work, or so he said. And so we were talking on the phone until about 2 in the morning, and so there was absolutely no way that he was anywhere but in Colorado, where he was. And there was no way that he was going to be there anytime soon, at least in my mind. I just didn't think about it at all. And so the next day when the proposal took place, so my aunt and uncle, first of all, it's actually my great aunt and uncle, and so I don't spend a lot of time at their house normally, but I was just staying there during this program, and so I would have never guessed that they would have been part of my proposal. And so it was their anniversary, and they asked me if I would go out to dinner with them for their anniversary, and I said sure. And actually, when the day came, I was pretty much trying everything I could to get out of it, actually, because I had really early morning clinicals the next day. It was going to start at 3 in the morning, and so I was like, I really don't want to be out late tonight. I was texting my mom trying to get out of it. And meanwhile, what I didn't know was that it was actually so that Michael could propose.
I didn't create this proposal video for everyone in the world to see. I created it for Tracy. And everything that I was doing was with her in mind, and how would it make her feel, and how is she going to react, and is she going to remember this, and making sure that the things that I do are going to be for her and not for anybody else.
That was an incredible story.
And they're really cute, and they're really smart kids.
I know.
I mean, they had great ideas for things that other people could do, and they're getting married on the 18th of August.
Right.
And I'm like, you're going to have to top this now.
Well,
and he's like, yeah, I know.
I'm just glad. I think he did the right thing by picking that song.
Why?
Because you pick another song, like 1,000 Miles.
Oh, the Vanessa Carlson song?
He'd be dead. Or he wouldn't be here for another...
I'm sorry, I've fallen in love with someone else. It's been a while.
It was on the way. I was resting.
Yeah, exactly.
I met her. She's cute.
But it's such a cute story.
It is a cute story.
It's been picked up all over the world, so it'll be fun to see what they do with it.
All right, so coming up is some entertainment news.
Free and fun.
Free and fun? Okay.
Play tickets and entertainment. It's going to be great.
What's next?
We're brought to you this morning by Executive Transportation. Elegant service, professional style. Go to executiveutah.com. And All Utah Plumbing. Your home deserves the best. 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com. And also by Columbus Travel. If you go to columbusvacations.com, you can sign up for a weekly newsletter that always has great last-minute deals on hotels, airfare, cruises, and more. Did you know you can catch the Todd and Erin Morning Stream any time of the day or night on Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud, and GephartDaily.com?
Welcome back. It's the Todd and Erin Morning Stream. We are so glad you are here.
Free and fun. This is almost too late. It's Friday. The weekend's here.
See, no, this is the challenge, that there's something new that's free and fun every single day. And I did this from other moms like me. Their kids are like, there's just nothing to do. And you're like, I don't want to have to look stuff up. So this is why I try to make it easy on you. For instance, there's a free family-friendly movie, different Salt Lake City parks each Friday. As a matter of fact, they had one that was just by our house. They have a large inflatable screen. Popcorn's free while it lasts. Sometimes they have other vendors there. You throw out a blanket, get a cooler.
Chairs.
I mean, it's really, really fun. And besides that, you also get to see neighbors that you haven't seen for a really long time. Because, you know, we all are in our little kind of pocket of the world. And so everyone gets a chance to talk again. Usually the Food Truck League will be there with different food if you want to try that out. And the movies begin around 9:15. Concessions start around 8.
That's so fun.
It's free open admission. And this weekend, it's Riverside Park.
Riverside.
In Salt Lake City, and it's Jumanji. So it's a perfect one.
I haven't seen that one forever.
I know, right? So it's perfect. The other one that I thought that was kind of cool today is Arts in the Parks with the Art Truck. This is up in Monroe Park in Ogden, starts at noon. It's a free program that offers opportunities for kids to explore the visual and performing arts with hands-on activities. And so what they've been finding is the best way in summer is to go around where the kids are.
Right.
Instead of expecting them to kind of show up at a museum like, oh, we hope you'll come and pay $20 admission.
There's a mummy.
Yeah. But so what they've been doing is taking these trucks out. They do all these great hands-on projects with the kids. It's always free.
Nice.
And the kids are always welcome to come whatever location they're at. And they teach them all kinds of different things. So it's been a lot of fun because the latest one is the whereabouts, which is basically how kids start tracking the whereabouts of their community, where they go, what they do, kind of like making a footprint of their life.
Right.
And it's really fun. And then they have this amazing art project that they get to take home with them.
But where would somebody find all these things in one convenient location?
Why, the simple thing would be to go to GephartDaily.com and go to the Todd and Erin page, where I also have a big list of like food trucks. I have a list of like all the farmers markets, fireworks for the 4th, free movies, the reading programs for summer, all that good stuff is there.
All right, cool.
I'm exhausted.
All right, night.
Oh, Night at the Imperial.
And I don't know this.
Nancy got this for us. I'm really excited. Nancy is our entertainment reporter who does all the really
cultural,
educated stuff.
The highbrow.
That might involve paying attention. That's why Nancy does those. But this one's cool. Night at the Imperial. Do you remember the Marx Brothers?
Of course I do.
Yeah, it's that comedy, that slapstick wild comedy.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the thing with the Marx Brothers is, if you met them in real life, these kind of people, they would infuriate you. But when you see them acting the way they act at somebody else, it's hilarious. It's like watching YouTube where people are falling down, getting hit in the head, and it just makes you laugh. It's the same thing. It's that schadenfreude. Is that how you pronounce it?
Schadenfreude.
We love seeing other people in pain.
So the Night at the Imperial, it's at the Off-Broadway Theater. It's running through July 29th downtown.
It's a great show.
And we have a pair of tickets for Monday night's show if you would like to go.
How do I give them away? We're on the computer.
It's really, really simple. You just go to one of our Facebook pages, Todd and Erin, Gephardt Daily, Gephardt approved. Like, comment, and share. Boom, you're entered, and then we'll draw a winner on Saturday.
Very cool.
See, isn't that cool?
More entertainment news, shall we?
Why, yes. We could go to Daisy. Daisy with Entertainment News is brought to you by Robert J. DeBry with offices in Sandy, Salt Lake City, and St. George. You can get help at robertdebry.com. Also by Executive Transportation. That is a very simple thing to go with March with what is fleets of sweet Escalades. And if you go to executiveutah.com, you can book him right there. And Black Diamond Electric. Now, these are the experts. One bid, that's the bid they stick with. And you can contact them at blackdiamondexpert.com. Daisy, what's going on in Hollywood?
Hello again, Todd and Erin. Here's a look at the headlines from Tinseltown overnight. Britain's Princes William and Harry will honour their late mother, Princess Diana, on July 1st, which would have been her 56th birthday. They plan a private ceremony and later will add a statue of her at Kensington Palace. Our mother touched so many lives, the brothers said. We hope the statue will help all those who visit Kensington Palace to reflect on her life and her legacy. The brothers were 15 and 12 when Princess Diana died aged 36 in a car accident. Singer Katy Perry says her former boyfriend Orlando Bloom was purposefully showing off last year when he decided to go nude paddleboarding and was photographed by the paparazzi. Then all of a sudden was like #1 trending on Twitter, Perry said. And he was like, I understand Twitter. Bloom later said he was surprised by the big reaction and said, I wouldn't have put myself in that position if I'd thought it would happen. Actor and comedian Hannibal Buress decided to send an imposter to the Hollywood premiere of Spider-Man Homecoming. Buress, who plays Coach Wilson in the film, posted a want ad on Twitter and asked for a lookalike with comic timing. The job paid $500. After Entertainment Weekly wrote about the switcheroo, Buress replied on Twitter saying, it's called extreme FOMO, which stands for fear of missing out. That's it for this edition of Tinseltown Headlines. Todd and Erin, back to you.
I was just talking about Black Diamond, but it was kind of interesting. I actually got one of my first phone calls because I get excited if anyone ever pays attention long enough to me to remember if I recommend something.
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Pretty much like that. But anyway, my girlfriend actually did call Black Diamond because she had this miserable sprinkler thing and her husband's like, I'm not touching it. So she called them and they came out. And of course they do electrical, plumbing, heating, and air. They went through her sprinkler system and they said, well, this is what we think it's going to cost. And she was kind of paranoid because she's like used to that. On the back end, something extra shows up. And I said, no, I mean, that's what they do. So somebody who was licensed, bonded, and insured came, fixed the sprinkler system, got it running, handed her the bill, which was exactly what they told her it would be. No hideous surprises. So if you would like to have that, blackdiamondexpert.com, it's a good experience, but definitely let me know what you thought because it's always fun to hear back from people after they try it.
All right, so I've got to tell you a story. Are you ready?
Well, yeah.
It's a bouncing baby. Oh, the baby's the smell. The smell of a baby.
Yes. The baby smell. The new baby smell.
The little pad they have right here when they're first
born.
And
the little starfish hands.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the starfish hands.
And the ears are just like little miniature ears. And the nose is kind of flattened for being in the womb.
Okay, now you're getting too literal. Go on.
No, it's so
you're creeping me out.
Every birth is just such a cool thing. And the Denver, they had. Hang on one second. Oh no, wait, here it is. And so anyway, there was a toddler. The baby was born.
Why did you call it a toddler?
That's a good question. Well, according to the stats on this baby, you might want to brace yourself and your ovaries right here. Women, hang on to everything you got. 14.4 pounds.
That is like giving birth to a toddler. Oh. I know this isn't your fault, son, but oh, that's horrible.
He wears 3 to 6 month old clothes.
14.5 pounds.
He was born with a cigar and a belt on. And a full mustache.
You know, I kind of thought I did pretty well because Zachy was 6'6", and Zachy McClaney was 5'11", so that's technically like 12 and a half pounds of baby, but that is nothing compared to one baby. At 14.4. Right, so that's a lot of baby.
The women, if you've caught your breath, it was a C-section.
Thank God.
I hope she was a gigantic woman of stature.
She probably wasn't. It's
always
like
the little
ones.
5'2".
It's always the little ones. It is.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, that's a big baby.
14.5 pounds.
Yeah.
What did you do wrong? Who did you displease? What minor deity? Because that's just terrible.
Black food. Black food coming up. Black food.
And this is considered a delicacy?
And this is not soul food we're talking about. This is black food. You'll see it next.
Merit Medical. Why work for fast food wages when you can start at Merit for a whole lot more? Merit Medical. Great products, great people, a great company. Learn more at merit.com/careers. The law offices of Robert J. DeBry and Associates, with offices in Salt Lake City, Santee City, and St. George. Check them out at robertdebry.com. The Todd and Erin Morning stream is actually available anytime at GephartDaily.com. Just click on the Todd and Erin page.
All right, we are back. Todd and Erin Morning stream at GephartDaily.com.
Explain the black food. It's creeping me out just thinking about it.
Let me show you some of it first. Take a look.
Okay. It's black.
It's charcoal.
Is that is it like blueberry or something?
Oh
or?
no, it's
the bun. What did they do to it?
Well, they're doing that in Japan.
Okay.
In a black bun that's made out of seaweedy kind of stuff.
I can see the seaweed in
See,
there.
the black food, it's what it's all about. It's a hipster thing. It's, the kids are doing. It solely exists because of Instagram. Someone got a hold of some, and then they took a picture of it, and everybody wanted to know, hey, what's the black food all about? Burger King has pioneered this, actually, offering a Kiro burger in Japanese stores in 2012, and it started catching on. It had a black bun, had a piece of black cheese, sauce made from squid ink.
Okay, squid ink I've heard of. I know that that's usable. My sister Jenny's obsessed with anything black. She probably would really enjoy this.
That's
Todd
right.
buys her black flowers for her birthday and
Candle lilies, yeah. Okay,
so basically
oh, you know what this is?
and now they're using charcoal,
my
which is
gosh.
even more horrifying.
This is goth food. Erin, goth food. Portlandia, by the way. That's a reference. Portlandia.
That's troubling.
All right.
Charcoal crust pizza.
Yeah, go read some of those. Charcoal
Smoked
coffee.
salmon with cream cheese charcoal bagel.
Bamboo charcoal toothpaste.
Charcoal facial sponge.
Now you can't use your charcoal you use for your thing. They use bamboo, and they also use coconut shells.
They have a peel-off mask that was from that's black, that's charcoal, and they said it would be give you vitality and a youthful glow.
You're also in black. You're also in blackface, which is not cool in 2017.
She said she couldn't get it out of like the thicker skin on the sides of her face, so it just looks like she was vaguely dirty for a week.
Black food.
That seems a little troubling.
I think it's Friday, but I think we're sneaking into. Let me tell you some good things.
Tell me more.
It's about Denver. And they found a simple way to go ahead and show them the vehicle.
I want to see this.
The homeless situation is kind of big. This is the this is the Tide one.
Those look like little What are those like little showers?
Washing machines.
Oh, get
They're
out!
They're They're up or down.
Yeah.
So what they do is they travel around. They go around 3 times a week. And number 57, Harris is 57. He used to live on the streets. Has a felony against him, drug use and such. Decided to turn that all around. This is what he decided to do. It's about basic human dignity.
I love this guy.
So he goes around 3 times a week, and he's got a set place that he goes, and people bring as much as you want. Some people bring a simple bag, a backpack full of clothes.
Or if you're a mom and you've got a family who's homeless.
You bring 10 bags.
I can't imagine, yeah.
And you get to hang out and talk and stuff like that, and they give them beverages and things like that while they're waiting. And it's just such a cool thing. Last year, 3,631 kids and people were homeless in Denver. And so he's just thought, this is the best thing to do because clean clothes improve health, morale, and job prospects.
And it's huge. This is absolutely right because if you think about it, it's the sense, it's the smell, the smelliness, and everything, and it's the thing that pushes people away, and it makes you feel less than human. It makes you feel degraded, and it makes you feel like crap. And so your courage in trying to go out and extend yourself and try to get a job,
right? Or
your ability maybe to send your kids to school so that they look like the other kids and they have a comfortable experience.
Exactly.
I mean, that is basic human dignity.
And it's basically East High is doing something like this where they have washers and dryers and they have
food
clothes.
pantry.
Because they have a lot of kids who are homeless that go to East High.
And they have phones where
and
the kids can
else.
call and make appointments if they don't have phones available at home. I love this idea.
Help. Yeah, I just think that's great. Well, it is Friday. It is Friday, and that means...
Long weekend for most of you, I hope.
Long weekend for most of you. And we're thinking about, usually we go camping or something like that. And recently, or last year for 4th, we went with the Uintas.
That was wonderful.
And we went up in the Uintas, and there's something called the Fairy Garden. And if you know it, I'll tell you it's on Mirror Lake Highway. Otherwise, I'm going to make you look it up. And it is a gorgeous little place. We stumbled on it.
You literally do stumble into it, and it's very hollow. And people bring rocks that are painted. They might be for memories. They might be designed like little creatures, all kinds of things. But there's cairns. There's stacks of them everywhere.
It's really cool.
And then all these beautiful star patterns and everything. And you walk in there, and you do think you've like jumped into a different like subspace.
Right. So you guys have a great weekend. Todd and Erin here on the morning stream at GephardtDaily.com. And here, take a little stroll.